fourth season as head coach, 2019 Sun Belt Coach of the Year, led Louisiana to the conference title last season, has led Louisiana to 4 straight conference titles. They're 8-1. They're 6-0. They're 24th in the AP poll, and they are at Troy on November 13th. Their head coach is Billy Napier. He joins us. Billy, it's good to have you on. How are you?
I'm doing great, Jim. I appreciate you covering the Ragin Cajuns, man.
I'll tell you what, Coach, it's great to have you back on, and I like talking about your program and your team. You beat Georgia State last night in a game where you fell behind 10-0. You scored 21 points in the final 18 minutes to win at 21-17. You did say there were some mistakes made, so what did it say about your guys that they found a way to get it done, and they got it done on a short week?
I think it's a direct reflection of the program that we've built, right? I think we've got great relationships, within the organization, especially amongst the players. Veteran group, I think, that understands that you got to go earn the right to win, but really showed great poise, showed great mental toughness, playing through the ups and downs of the game, right? Many opportunities where they could have splintered last night, but I think the most important thing we did is we stuck together.
Billy Napier is joining us. Billy, it seems to me you've won a lot of games like that. In fact, you're 14-3 in one-score games since you took over as head coach of that team. I mean, some might try to make the argument that winning one-score games might be a matter of luck, but when you're 14-3 in those games, I'd say that's a lot more skill or talent. What steps do you take to make sure that your guys play their best ball in the tightest situations?
Well, it's part of our formula. I think we've tried to put our football team together and be strong in every area, right? Offense, defense, and game changers, as we call our special teams here. Knowing that, you might not have your A game in one of those areas each week. You need to play complementary football. We've hired really good people. I think we have a tremendous staff. We work really hard in evaluation and recruitment and try to get the right people in the building, not only the staff but the players. And I think that character shows up, when you get in those critical moments. I'd like to think it's a product of a lot of hard work by a lot of really good people. Certainly fortunate, not all those wins were pretty, but I think there's something to be said for finding a way to win.
There's that, and I want to ask you something about this too. Like when you lay out that formula, when you lay out that approach, and you talk about how important it is to have the right people and to have all 3 facets of the game, it actually goes much deeper than that. I know for a fact that you said before the season, you were talking about, quote, trying to think systematically in terms of all the different areas of the organization, all the way down to nutrition, academics, training room, how we develop leadership and accountability, end of quote. Why was it so important to be that in-depth and that systematic about every single aspect? And then how does that show up on the field?
Well, I think it's the key to sustaining, right? It's the key to building an organization. I think it's all about consistency, right? I think you got to continue to evolve. Certainly trying to improve every phase of our off season. Every area of our organization. We do a lot of quality control. We're fortunate to be in year 4. So we've been through our year-round plan to develop our team for the 4th time. So I think we're always evaluating what we could do better, even independent of the results sometimes. Sometimes we get a really good result, but we know we could have done something better in-house, right? I like to think we control the things that we can control. And you got to be system-oriented, right? I know a lot of people use the word process, but it's really about refining your systems in every little area of what you do and how you do it. So, we've hired good people. We give them ownership. We work together to find solutions. We certainly, I think over time here, proven that we've got a consistent football team. And I think it's a product of a lot of hard work.
I like that. There's a system, there's a formula, there's consistency, there's an application to that. Louisiana's 8-1, they're 6-0 in conference, they're 24 in the AP poll. Bill, you have all those things, and you get yourself a really nice quarterback too. That helps. Levi Lewis threw for nearly 300 yards and a TD last night. On Saturday against Texas State, he broke Jake Delhomme's record for career TD passes. What did you make of his play last night, and then what does he mean to the program overall?
Well, he showed great resolve last night. I just got done reviewing the tape. Man, he made some incredible plays there when it mattered. I think the guy's just, I can't compliment him enough. He's made himself an incredible player. He's a product of his work. He's reaped what he sowed. He's been here with us from the very beginning. He's been a leader in our locker room. He sets a great example with his character, the way he prepares. He's made me a better man. He's made me a better coach. I can't compliment the guy any more than that. So, Levi Lewis will go down as one of the best players in the history of Louisiana Ragin Cajun football. And I think it's not only what he does on the field, I think it's how he conducts himself off the field.
Hey, Billy, I don't think there are too many times that I've ever heard a head coach of a college program saying that one of his players made him a better man. That is the highest praise imaginable. So when you say that and you talk about him being a man on a mission this year, does that focus, that drive, that passion, that intensity, is it infectious, and does it get passed on to everybody around him?
Yeah, I think so. I think if you look around in the game of football, the teams that are having continued success, right? The quarterback is such he's the engine. He's the guy that galvanizes the team, right? His approach. Look at Tom Brady's transition from the New England Patriots to the Tampa Bay Bucks. There's numerous stories right around in the history of this game at every level. The quarterback affects your team in so many ways. So we're fortunate to have a great one, and a guy that's done an outstanding job leading our team and our entire organization.
Billy Napier is joining us. So now you're in the top 25. There's going to be even more attention on the program, more noise surrounding the program. So what are you talking to your players about with regards to that? Do you want them to enjoy that attention, or do you want them just to shut it out completely?
Well, we're really trying to, we've used the analogy of climbing the mountain, right? So I think you're not meant to stay at the top, right? The air is thin. You take a little time, you enjoy the view, and you go back down to the bottom and you start over. I think the best view comes after the hardest climb, right? So, each week we kind of got to start over. We got to kind of compartmentalize and focus on the task at hand. Each one of these matchups is different. The result will be determined. It won't be determined by anything that's happened in the past. We got to get ready for each one of these games and have a complete focus on that. So, we've got veteran players. I think we've got great leadership amongst our staff. And I would like to think that, we've got enough maturity to handle the next challenge, and certainly that's what we're going to try to do.
All right, so you're having that conversation with a lot of young guys who may or may not be accustomed to it, and you're saying this is the way we want to approach it. You want to stay locked in. You want to compartmentalize. You want to be where your feet are. You want to worry about the day. Win the day. Get ready for the game. And then, Billy, what happens, though, when that same sort of thing kind of comes at you the same way? When you have the success that you've had, when you've built a program that you've built, that phone's going to ring. How do you approach the attention and the noise when it comes to you?
Well, I think it's about loyalty to me. I work hard for the people in our building, for our players, for our staff. If I'm doing anything independent of my very best, for our team and organization, the players and the staff, then I'm not doing my job. So it's about loyalty to me, right? And I think I think you got to take an approach where you're maximizing every opportunity to improve, and certainly juggling those things at the same time, because it's certainly out there, and we've been through it the last couple of years. So, to me, it's about loyalty, and I want to do my very best for our team.
All right, so before I let you go, last night you did. That means that win clinched your 4th straight division title. There may be unfinished business, but that is a division title, 4 in a row. What's that number mean to you? How much pride is there for you in that number?
Well, it's just the next step. It's something that we needed to do. It was a specific mission, right? And it's certainly part of the big picture here relative to where we want to go and what we want to accomplish. It was something that we needed to do. Now the next challenge will be to secure home field advantage. We've got 3 games left. 2 of those 3 are conference opponents, and they'll determine whether or not the championship game is at Cajun Field in the Swamp.
Louisiana's 8-1. They're undefeated in conference play, as I mentioned. Got a little bit of time. Next game is November 13th at Troy. Their head coach, Billy Napier, 2019 Sun Belt Coach of the Year. Billy, great to have you on the program. Always good to talk about that program. Good luck, and I appreciate the visit.
Thank you, Jim. I appreciate you covering our team, man.
You got it, Billy. Appreciate you. I appreciate that you appreciate it. It's awesome. It's fun. Good to have you. It's a good story. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to get conversations, have conversations, and talk about programs that you may or may not appreciate, may or may not have a background or a knowledge of. That's a good story. Again, 8-1, 6-0, top 25, and they've won that conference 4 times in a row. Billy Napier, the head coach there.